Get out and stay out. Those were my father's last words before the door slammed. I didn't beg, I didn't explain. I just stood there, my suitcase in one hand, my law books in the other, rain seeping into my shoes, watching the porch light flicker against the storm. He'd finally done it. Thrown me out for dropping out of law school. The son who was supposed to become the pride of the family was now a disappointment. They didn't know the truth. They didn't know I was already worth $30 million. 3 years earlier, I'd been just another overworked student, pulling all-nighters to chase his father's dream. He wanted a legacy, I wanted peace. My escape came in the form of an algorithm I built on a dare, a system that predicted emerging digital assets before they blew up. What began as a side project became a gold mine. By 24, I'd sold the code for more than most lawyers earn in a lifetime. But I never told them. Not because I didn't want to, but because I wanted to see who they were when I had nothing to offer. Now I knew. The next morning, I woke up to ocean air and silence. My new home, 12,000 square feet of glass and stone perched above the Malibu cliffs, didn't feel like revenge yet. It felt like distance. I told myself I'd move on, let them live their small, judgmental lives while I lived mine. Then came the message from my sister. Dad's business is falling apart. He says the investors are backing out. You should call him. He's been asking about you. Asking about me. Not apologizing, not regretting, just calculating. Same as always. I smiled. Finally, the game had begun. Growing up, my father ran his real estate firm like a kingdom. Every deal was a war, every person a pawn. He used to tell me, control the narrative and you control the outcome. I learned well. When I saw his company's quarterly report, publicly available of course, I noticed something. Massive debt hidden behind inflated valuations. He was desperate for new capital. And desperate men make mistakes. I decided to become one of them. I created a shell firm under an alias, BlackRock Holdings LLC. Clean website, offshore ties, enough mystery to look powerful, enough legitimacy to look safe. Through a third-party broker, I approached his company with interest in a joint venture. They bit instantly. For 3 weeks, I played the role of an anonymous investor from Singapore. I had calls with his board, with his CFO, even with him. Hearing his voice, measured, confident, unaware he was talking to his own son, was surreal. He pitched me his vision, just like he used to at the dinner table, except this time he was begging behind that smile. When I signed the preliminary agreement, he was ecstatic. He told my sister, "We're saved, someone believes in me again." He didn't realize that belief was the last thing I had left for him. The deal closed on a Friday morning. By that evening, my lawyers had executed the next phase, leverage buyout through defaulted shares. I acquired controlling interest in his company under the alias. Monday, I called an emergency board meeting. He walked in wearing his best suit, unaware the floor had already collapsed beneath him. The look on his face when I entered the room, without disguise, without anger, was worth every sleepless night I'd ever endured under his roof. "Hello, Dad," I said quietly. He froze. "What is this?" I slid the documents across the table. "You're out. Effective immediately." His voice cracked. "You don't understand. This company is my life." I leaned forward. "And you threw me out for choosing mine." Silence. The same silence I'd heard that night in the rain. He tried to threaten, negotiate, even guilt me, but it was useless. Everything was legal, airtight, irreversible. I didn't raise my voice once. Revenge doesn't need noise. It needs precision. When I left the building, reporters were already gathering outside. By sundown, every business channel was running the same headline. CEO ousted by anonymous investor. Company acquired overnight. He'd finally lost control of the narrative. That night, I stood on my balcony overlooking the Pacific. The ocean shimmered beneath the moonlight, vast and indifferent. I thought I'd feel triumph, but what I felt was clarity. People like my father never understand love that isn't transactional. They only understand power. So I gave him power's mirror image, helplessness. 3 weeks after being thrown out, I'd taken everything he built and turned it into a reminder. Never underestimate the quiet ones. He taught me the rules. I just learned to play them better. Now, when people ask why I left law school, I tell them the truth. Because I didn't need to defend anyone anymore. Not even myself. And if I ever hear his voice again, echoing in memory, "Get out and stay out," I'll smile. Because I did, and I stayed out, right where I belong.